Okay, well, do you listen to this song or Sean Paul more often?
Sean Paul. I like Sean Paul a lot. I don't love Taylor Swift. I just like this song.
Right. Sean Paul you love.
Yeah.
I see.
He's great.
I see.
He shits on me because I like Sean Paul. I just do.
I love Taylor Swift.
Okay,
You do, right?
so
I'm way in.
even now?
I've already bought the new album.
Is it
I
a
have
good
the
album?
music taste of a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, I understand that.
Like, I love just like whatever America's on board with.
Yeah.
Is my favorite.
So it's not just Taylor, it's like pop music.
Oh yeah, it's good. It can be pretty wild. Like when I can listen to stuff, and then people can look at me thinking I'm like doing it on purpose. Like they're like, "Are you just doing this to like be?"
They think you're being ironic.
Yeah.
But you're actually
and
really
I
enjoying
am
it.
way into it. Like I'm just having not to act like I don't know all the words.
Yeah, it's great when you're like really moving to something, like looking and being silly, and you're like you have no idea. I would do this if I was alone.
Yeah.
So it fucking rules.
You have to figure out how to make it seem like you're listening ironically.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're not
Dude, I'm
listening.
just messing with you guys, man.
Yeah. Metal. Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
I don't listen to the words. I don't listen to any song. I have no idea what the song's about.
You just like the tempo of the.
I'm like a dog. Like I just like the beat of it, and like I have no.
Just makes you feel good.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of it is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all probably these songs about like a boyfriend,
Yeah, most of
like
them
my
are.
ex-boyfriend that would let me drive his truck.
Right. You
No,
can't relate to that at all.
I can't.
Right.
Maybe I can.
Maybe.
I don't know, maybe.
Or Carrie Underwood sang the one. Was that the one where the guy she fucking keys his truck or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he lies.
Maybe next
Yeah.
time he'll think before he cheats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah.
Fucking psycho. Fucks up his truck. Pops his tires.
And makes a fun song about it. That guy had to go get all that fixed, and now just hears that on the radio for the rest of his life.
She hit his headlights with a baseball bat. Yeah. That's fucking hardcore.
Imagine hearing about yourself in a song. If I ever hear a singer come out and go, "You couldn't get it up, and you're not that funny," I'm like, "Oh no, I know who that's about."
And it's done very well.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's a great song that you're like, I kind of like it.
Did you ever have one freak out on you like that, an ex?
No, I've been to my wife basically my whole life. So.
Oh, you've been with the same girl for a long time.
Yeah.
Where'd you meet her?
Applebee's. Worked at Applebee's together in
you?
Nashville. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that a great place to work?
I still go there. I'm still a big fan. So
That's what I want to hear because I love those restaurants and like, but I as I get older, I feel like I get more paranoid that there's shit, especially after that movie Waiting.
Yeah.
That there's shit going on with the food because Applebee's is like, or Applebee's, Chili's, like that section of restaurant stuff. Like fast food is just like whatever. It's kind of hard to. I guess you could fuck with fast food, but
Sure.
it's all so bad anyway. Like it doesn't matter. Applebee's is like people who want to be doing better, right? At fast food, there's probably people there that are like, yeah, I'm just happy to get minimum wage. Like, this is just I'm just trying to get paid. When you're talking about Chili's and Applebee's and Fridays and those places, like those are people that generally have they want to be someplace else, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think that, I mean, I worked at Applebee's, so like I don't remember anybody ever doing anything. I think it's pretty crazy. I mean, you'd have to be. Maybe they did, and they would never tell you.
You were the nerd.
I was the nerd. And Nate's coming. Like, they're like, what are you guys doing?
Hey, were you guys just laughing about something? No. Thing from
That's
TV.
cool, man. I think the biggest is people that eat off people's food. That's probably the biggest thing that waiters would do.
They would eat food?
People would eat food off people's plates.
Like before it gets to them?
No, like after. Some guys after. That's always like one that I work because they would be like, how many times do you eat something you barely touch it?
Yeah, you don't touch the fries or whatever. Yeah,
and then someone just probably eats a couple.
I guess I don't mind that because
that's crazy.
That's their own world.
That's their
you're
shit.
like, do your thing, man.
But you're back there making the food. Can you just make yourself something?
You probably could, and they probably don't think about that. That's what they don't think about. They go, man.
But there's food right here, right now.
Yeah, he's like, I just took that, and they're like, I would have made you fries, dude. Like, I would have, like, it's not a big deal.
Wait, Travis, what?
Sorry. Anthony just told me that he used to eat food off people's plates when he was a busboy.
As a busboy?
As a busboy?
Yeah.
So you were eating...
Well, yeah, he's a first line.
I guess.
Oh, yeah. So he sees it.
Yeah.
What kind of food would he eat?
What kind of food would
He can come in if he wants real quick.
I'm
just go in.
Yeah, just for a second. I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, because
that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy.
Just the idea that, like, other people's, like, hands were, even if they didn't touch it, like, they were still around it, and they're, like, saliva's coming out of their mouth, and, and their other food was next to it. I can't handle any of that.
Yeah.
No, I can't either. Where were you a busboy?
It was down the shore.
Just
Fucking a shore restaurant?
Yeah, I was 15. I only did it twice. Once the lady sent the food back, and she was going to get a new meal, so I just ate that.
That's fine. That's not that bad.
The second was like the French fries. I just took a scoop of French fries off a half plate of food and just ate them.
Does anybody see you do it?
No.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just ask them, like Nate said, to make you some fries?
Yeah, but that's like a whole process, because then, it's like you gotta wait.
Write it up.
Yeah,
it's in the system.
Right.
You're
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guy that takes fries.
He's trying to live off the Matrix
Off
right
the
now.
grid.
All right,
Yeah.
All right, that's not that bad. You only did it a couple of times. So how long ago did you work it out? How long are you doing stand-up?
I started in 200002.
Okay, have we ever worked together before?
You hosted my Live at Gotham.
Oh, was
We've
you? Oh, you were on
That's
that.
the only time we've ever worked. But yeah, when I did Live at Gotham in 2008.
I remember Colin Jost, I think, was on that one.
Who was on?
Live at Gotham.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Colin was on that one.
Yeah. Angela Johnson, I think, was on. She maybe was a year before.
Yeah, I don't know if is there a way to look that up? Live at Gotham? Maybe you're right. I just, for some reason, remember.
No, I don't think I remember. Chelsea Peretti, I believe, was on it.
I would have known if Chelsea was on it.
Maybe no one was on it. Maybe I didn't do it.
Or maybe I didn't host it.
Neither one of us did.
I might
I'm
not have, yeah.
Probably
we're
never
having
happened.
trouble finding either one of you guys, and you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe.
Just never
Not a time for it. I'm just curious. Okay, I remember hosting that.
Yeah,
Wow, 2008.
it was a while ago.
Did you quit Applebee's like right as you were getting into stand up, or did you have to?
No, I worked at. I delivered like mattresses after that, and just in Nashville, where I'm from.
Yeah.
And then this was before I started, and then I moved to Chicago first to start, and then I was here for about 9 years.
Why Chicago?
I had a buddy that wanted to go to Second City,
Okay.
and so I was in Chicago with all the Hannibal and Pete Holmes and T.J. Miller, like all that group, and then we moved here, and I started at Boston Comedy Club.
Oh, you did? How long were you there before? When did Boston go away? Because that club's been gone for a number of years. But when did that go away? In like 2008 or 9? They took that out. Or was it before?
No, well, they had it be the Comedy Village. It changed, but it was Boston. I was there at the very end of it, so I barked there, and it was like I moved there in October of 04, and I feel like 05 is like when Boston was done, and then they turned it into a Comedy Village.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was above. That was on West 3rd, right around the corner from the Comedy Cellar. It was never as good a club, but it was great because you could quadruple up on spots. You'd go on a Friday, you'd do 3 at the Cellar, 3 at Boston.
Yeah.
Walking around the corner, you're doing 6 spots. It was great.
Yeah, and it was great starting because all you guys would come in and you would get a while. I mean, I was there with. I remember all y'all coming in, and then I remember Pete. Burr and Patrice ran their half hours, their HBO half hours. I used to sit in Patrice's car so he wouldn't get a ticket when he'd run in, and if a cop came, I would drive his car around and just park it back.
Were you working for the club at all? Doing like, or did you
Handing out flyers.
Oh, you were, yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys hustle, man. When I walk to the Cellar, I see those guys. They're for another club because
Yeah.
they're like, hey, you want to come to a comedy? Come in. Like, I guess the stage time is the payoff for that.
Yeah.
That's a tough way to get on stage.
Well, now it's like I think it's a business now. Now it's like these guys are doing. They just get paid.
Oh, they're not even comics.
They're not even comics. Some might be, but like I think most are not now. Like that
Especially
was
the Times Square ones, right?
Yeah, I did that when I first moved here, Times Square, and that's about the wildest place to do it because it's just chaos around you, and you're like just trying to hand a flyer to someone, and it just.
When does it ever work? Like I've never.
I bet a lot. I bet you people just get it and they're like, oh, a comedy club, and they have all those credits listed, Comedy Central, HBO, and they're probably like, oh.
Like how often does it work?
In New York, I mean, this is when I was at Boston. You would get Chappelle. So that was when Chappelle's show, like right before he went and stopped, and he used to come in all the time from the taping. He'd be in with like 8, like there'd be 5 people there, and he would go up, and then there is easy because you would just be like, "Hey, Chappelle's on stage," and then it would be 200 people would just walk in
while he's on,
which has always got to be such a crazy thing to be walking down the street and someone just be like, "Hey, do you want to see Dave Chappelle?"
Yeah,
and they're like, "What?" And then they just go. Yeah. I had someone tell me they didn't believe it. They were like, "I think you're lying." I was like, "Well, I'm at a comedy club. I don't know why I would lie to you." And I was like, just go look in the window. If he's not there, then don't go. And he just wouldn't. The guy wouldn't go up and look. He just like I don't know what he was thinking.
He thought that you were probably gonna roll him or something. He thought some really nefarious shit was happening.
I was like, it's just 3 steps. Go ahead.
He has like fucking De Niro trying to tell her to get the dresses. Right there. Go in there. And it was. Did Barry still own it at that point?
No, Dustin Chafin was running it.
Oh,
and
right,
then,
Dustin.
Did Barry?
He might have owned it.
Maybe he did. I don't. I never met him then, Barry Katz. But like, he did come like the night. There was the night it was over. It was like there was a big party. They had that meeting there. Remember Ted Alexandro's like the. When the spot pay
to getting the money, trying to get the money up. Russ Maneve, I think, was involved with that.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a big thing in New York years ago with the comedians to get because the money has stayed the same for a long, long time. And I think the Cellar was the first one to actually raise it.
Yeah.
I forget what the spots used to be, but now they pay on the weeknights. It's like $30, and on the weekends it's $100 to do a spot.
Wow.
Which is better than it used to be. Like 50 for a long time. It was 50 for years. Then they went up to 70, and they went up to 100. So the Cellar, when they raised
it's
prices,
almost like a unionized thing.
Yeah,
like the comics came together and
comics in a mild way they did, but comics it's a weird one to unionize because it's so much like as soon as you get a fucking if you go on the road and make 2,500 headlining, you're not gonna fucking bring someone that stinks. Who can only make 400. You're like, fuck you.
Were you able to when you were doing the Times Square barking? Is that harder to actually get people to?
It's because I mean there's everything, and you'd have to walk them to the club. It was just the old Ha, and
plus so many people know you're lying in Times Square. Like in Times Square, they lie.
I think they do more now than they did back then.
Okay.
But people do. You would always wonder. I mean, they would. I remember people coming to shows. Like I remember being in New York Comedy Club, and you would hear. People be like, "Oh, we thought Dane Cook," and you're like, "Dane Cook's playing like Madison Square Garden." But then you're also like, "But Dave Chappelle also goes up." So you're like, "It's not crazy for him not to be like. It's not insane for him to happen. It could happen."
Yeah.
And they would come in thinking they're going to see this. That's when it started getting. We would never lie about it. You didn't have to. There was good comics on the show. But then once guys started doing, lying and being like Seinfeld's going to be there and all this, and then people come and then people flip out because they're like, "Oh, I just gave you this money." And then they want the money back, but that guy was like working separately outside of it. It got all like kind of weird.
If you're not working for the club, it's like you're just going to try to get people in because you get money for every person that goes in. We used to have to bring people, like the original New York Comedy Club on like 24th and 2nd, I think it was. You had to bring people. It was a weird little upstairs club. It's humiliating to ask your friends to come pay watch you. It's the fucking worst.
They would do like a bringer, and then you'd have to do. They want you to do it when you first. You're like, I don't live here. Like, so you're like, I'm not from here. So you're like, I can't. Like,
I don't have anybody to bring.
I don't have anybody to bring. Yeah, who am I going to ask?
Other comedians?
And someone you'd have to be like, hey, will you go be my guy? And then someone else would be your guy, just so you could like get up and.
Do you have to pay for their tickets?
Because you'd be like, I'll buy your ticket, like, and I'll buy your drinks or whatever.
And then they pay you, but it's not enough to cover the tickets that you
lose. It's a whole thing. You lose all this money. I remember I got my first when I switched phone. I have a New York number, and because I had a Tennessee number, and I switched it to New York right when I first moved because I was like, I need to have a number here so that people know I live here. Like, this is before you would really have, like, different area codes. Now it doesn't matter.
Right.
So I remember I switched it at Times Square, AT&T, and it was a flip phone motor. It was my first one with a camera. And right when I did it, the first thing that goes by, U2 is playing in a flatbed truck, and they, like, go down.
I remember when that happened.
I did, too. I'm thinking the Foo Fighters did that once. I don't remember U2 doing it.
It was, like, and I didn't take a picture because I was so embarrassed. Because it wasn't as, like... Everybody just took pictures with your phone. And I was like, I can't walk out of this store and be like, that could have been my first picture.
It could have been.
It could have been. And I was too embarrassed.
That would have been a good one. What was your first time on stage?
In Chicago. I have a VHS of it.
You're lucky. I kind of wish I taped those. I didn't tape back then, like, it was 1990. I was like, I kind of wish I did.
Yeah.
Because you look back, like, it was awful, but I'm like, fuck, it would be.
When do your tapes start?
93 or 92. We did a thing on the old Opie and Anthony show where Colin, Patrice, Voss, and I think Paul McHugh, we would bring in our old tapes and we would play them and just shred each other. And mine was fucking bad. Voss's was bad. Patrice's was not as bad. It wasn't as good as he thought it was, but mine was atrocious.
Yeah.
And you listen to stuff like when you're 2 and 3 years in, you're like,
oh man, I could never go. Like, I have them, but yeah, like, to go listen to it would be nuts. Like,
would you be
I had a
embarrassed?
chin beard.
Oh no.
Yeah, like a real white trash. They filmed ours because I think I took a class, so in Chicago. So like that's why the only reason I had it filmed was because that was part of the class.
How
Yeah,
was Second City?
like a chin strap thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh yeah. At the time it wasn't, and it was at the time, but in my head it wasn't.
How was Second City?
I did like 8 weeks there. I had buddies that did the whole year.
Okay.
But it's just, you're doing improv, so it's I didn't mind it. I liked it, but I just remember thinking like I'd rather be funny on my own. Like I don't want to like when you're with other people, you don't know what route they can make you go down, and so I just was like I wanted to do it by myself, and so that's
Were you
what I
good
did.
at it? Improv is hard.
No, I wasn't. It was but you're in there with like teachers, like. People that just want to like take it's a hobby.
Yeah.
And they want to like take it. I mean, I never even got to the real classes where they're, where like the Chris Farley and all those guys would have come out of it.
It was just the people who have like other jobs and other gigs that are like, I
just
take
like
a comedy class once in a while.
Oh no.
Thought it would help me open up and talk to people, and
That's exactly who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, it was neat. It was a cool experience to say.
What do they teach you in a comedy class? Like, I'm not saying that they're wrong. What do they?
I am not against them. Like some guy, like I know some comics hate them. You don't go there to learn how to do stand up, but you're at least like when you first start, like you don't know how to, like unless you like, or if someone wanted to start and they're a fan of this show, they probably would know how to do it. But a lot of people don't know, so they have zero idea what you should try to do at first. You don't know where to go. It puts you at least around. You're scared, and it puts you around people that are starting as well. And I think that's the main thing.
You can see here, like Caroline's does a comedy class, and you can completely tell who it's marketed towards, which is fine. It says you learn the business of comedy, you develop your public speaking skills,
right.
You make new friends and laugh together, perform at Caroline's on Broadway, and receive a free DVD of your performance. So it's not even necessarily like we're marketing this as the first step to a stand-up comedy career.
Yeah.
It's like, wouldn't it be amazing if you could, if you had a tape of yourself being a comedian like these guys? And
someone it would be,
exactly.
Those people, those were the best shows to do. If you ever needed to make a tape.
Monday night?
Yes. Linda, like her, you could go up. If you ever needed to tape for like a late night set or something, it was like, go do a bringer show because you're going to murder.
Because the crowds were amazed. The Monday night at Caroline's, what was the guy, Peter Klusman, I think his name was. He was a guy he would videotape. He had a taping business and he would do a good job, but he didn't have like a lot of cell phones or they didn't have cameras then. So you'd pay him like whatever it was and he would hook up his cameras and do a nice tape for you. And that Monday night who was the guy who booked that with the glasses?
The Monday?
Yeah, I don't remember his name. Maybe it was different by the time you got there. But that you go in there and just crush.
I was thinking about businesses like that, though, because that guy must have had a great business for a period of time. But if you don't see everything coming and like develop, all of a sudden one day you just turn around and people are like, why would anybody ever hire you to video them? You know what I mean? Like that's it's so archaic now to think that you would need to hire somebody.
It sounds
to bring
crazy,
a
right?
camera and tape you.
It's like $90 or $80 from what I remember.
Right.
And but those classes are really. I want to know what because if the teachers stay like Rick Chrome from the Comedy Cellar, Rick's a funny piano guy. He writes musicals. He's a really fucking talented guy. Like I could see going to see Rick or taking his class that you'd go see him live and he fucking murders.
Yeah.
Like I'm like that's a guy who I could learn from.
Yeah.
But then you see other guys that are just like, oh.
Yeah.
And the teaching and like, how do you as a student go and you watch the guy who's teaching you comedy fucking just eat his dick?
Well, I think they're just you're so new that you have no idea. Like, it's like when you first come here. I remember running around when I first moved to New York, running around with a guy that like he was just going to multiple spots and I was like, this is unbelievable. I can't even believe we're like, and I was just following him to open mics and I'm like, you think this guy might be the best comic in New York and then you don't even know. And then like 2 months later you pass him and you're like, oh, all right, he wasn't. But at the time you just don't, you're like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This dude's running to different places. And then
just because he knows where to go, just meeting a guy who knows where to go.
Far ahead of us. I got talked into teaching a class, a couple times at Eastville, like where I didn't even want to do it, and then you just don't know what to say because you feel like I have to do. But I remember I just like I was like I'm not gonna I was like, I don't know I can't tell you how to write a joke. Like, you got to learn that stuff on your own. But all I did, I was like, you can run around with me, and I'll just do that. And so I thought that was like good enough to be like, yeah, I'll just run around with me, like, and we'll go to my spots and we can talk about comedy. But it is, you meet guys that are too new. They're just starting for the first, and you're like, well, I can't even like talk to you, like.
Yeah, so what do you want? I wouldn't know where to start. I would have no idea what to tell people. I mean, if you're talking to a class that's already been in class for 3 or 4 weeks, like, all right, these guys at least know what they are supposed to be.
But you wouldn't know how to coach somebody to start them into getting into the business?
No, I wouldn't know what to say to them because it's just like, I know how I did it.
Well, you've just been a star for so long that it's like.
It's really, but dude, it's a gift. You know, it's like one of those things that when I opened my mouth, immediately the electricity was obvious. And it's just, no, people say to me.
How do you teach somebody what God blessed you with?
Yeah.
It's funny, dude. I've actually said that.
I know you're kidding, but
all kidding aside, Sam. No, but people say to me, hey, dude, this is the worst. I hate when comedians ask me for advice and I don't know what to tell them. But I get a lot of emails from people. They're like, dude, where can I go up and where can I start? And it's like, I don't know. It's different than when I started because there's a website you can go to where they tell you where all the open mics are.
Yeah.
It's some weird name.
Monkey something? Oh,
no,
man.
I don't remember it, but I'll know it when I hear it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's where you go to find out the open mics. I don't know how you get on at any of these places. I got a fucking, Rick Dorfman was my manager at the time, and he got me into Dangerfields and Comedy Cellar.
Is it Bad
The
Slava?
same night. That's it.
Yes.
So I don't know how you do it.
That's been around since I started.
It has, right?
Yeah.
It's an open mic list,
Yeah.
but I never used it, so I don't know what
I remember
to tell
going
people.
through it, and you just pick which ones you want to go to, and like you'd write, all right, we can do this one, then we can hit this one, and then you can go, which is the point of like moving here.
Is that all New York, dude? There's all New York?
It's all Manhattan.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's really, I feel bad for guys who are like, hey man, I live 90 minutes outside of Oakland, or like where there's one club in the area. I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea how you get
You
on
gotta
these
tell them to
places.
move. I tell them to move.
Yeah, LA or New York.
Yeah, I'm like, you gotta get out of it. Like, you gotta at least do something. You can't stay here. But that's where they go. Like, I'm back in Nashville now, and like, so I'll get like those guys. But you get them ask you where you're like, you don't want to be like a jerk about it, but you're like, we're at different levels, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're like, I started in New York, and then and they think sometimes I think they think because I live back in Nashville now. They're like, oh, so we can just live here, and you're like, no. You gotta go other places. Like,
Yeah, and the system changes. Like what works for you in 2002 or 2005 is not going to work for you in 2017. So it's like, guys, tell me, I don't know what to tell them half the time. It's not to be a dick. I'd love to help you, but I don't know how you get your tape to this person.
Yeah,
put it on YouTube and direct them. I don't know.
Yeah. Everybody wants a shortcut. There's no shortcut.
Do you remember what was the one where you had to pay them to watch your tape? Do you ever hear that? There was some booker in the South where you had to. They ran a bunch of clubs.
Sounds legitimate.
Yeah. But they would watch your tape, but you had to pay them to watch it.
Yeah,
like $25 or $50 to watch your tape.
And then, but you're just paying them to watch it. So like, you can pay them $50. They watch your tape and they go, "Oh, you're no good."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Can I get my money back?
No. I watched the tape.
Golly, I thought I could get it back.
How was the you went out with Brad Paisley?
Yeah, well, I did that Brad Paisley, the stand-up thing on Netflix that he hosted. It was great. We went to his we just worked on like this stuff, like we did an opening thing where we all went out. There's other comics, Sarah Tiana, John Reed, Mikey Winfield, and John Heffron. And we went over to Brad Paisley's house the day before, but we didn't go to. It wasn't his house. We pulled up to it because they said we were going to his house, and it was just like, it was a nice house, but it's not like a Brad Paisley's house. And you're just like, as we pull in, I was like, I don't think this is his house.
Right.
I think this is something else. And we go in, it's like it's his studio. His house is like up this private road and all this, and it was just a studio. He had a bar in there, like he has a bar at his house, like that's like a Irish bar. Doesn't even drink.
Just for his friends.
He just likes making drinks and gets it designed after a bar in Ireland.
Really?
And
That's
a Dublin
awesome.
bar.
So what did you do in there?
We worked on the show, like coming up with an idea.
Okay.
For the just the opening of it and stuff, and hung out, and then we taped the next day.
And you did stand up on the show?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we just did like 7 minutes or something like that.
Do you listen to country too?
Yeah, I do. Like, yeah, I'm not a good music person. Like, for being in New York, like I don't know. Like, I'm not up to date with everything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you listen to? Because I didn't introduce him, but like I talked to Andrew Schultz. You know Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
he recently started listening to country music.
Yeah.
And like I kind of grew up with it. So like he came in here and I just started blowing his mind by playing like Alan Jackson and Garth Brooks and guys like that. He was like, "What the fuck is this? It's amazing."
Yeah. I love Alan Jackson. I'll listen to that, like a lot of that old stuff, and like and then you mix it. You like listen to that, listen to a lot of sports talk or whatever.
You don't go to the Johnny Cash Museum?
I've been to the Country Music Hall of Fame. I haven't been to his museum. I saw him filming a music video once when I was in high school on a train, like in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Not that anybody matter, but I just remember driving to my buddy's house, and there was a caboose just on a track. No one was around. This is like in our neighborhood, and he was standing on the back of it, and I was like, "That's Johnny Cash."
Do you know what the music video was?
No. I've never even tried to find it.
Oh, you know,
well, that was so long. That was like 96. So I don't even know if I would have like tried to like find it.
Well, how would you? In 96, everything wasn't online, so you have to actually go and like physically look for it or wait for it to come on fucking
MTV or something.
You have a country music channel. I don't think they played Johnny Cash on MTV.
They did in that era. That was, I mean, that 96. I think by then he was doing the American stuff.
They played Hurt. I know that, but that was 2003, I think.
Right, and that's what I mean. Like the end of life Johnny Cash. That's when he became cool again.
Yeah.
So I think they were playing some
He
of
was
that.
always cool.
What if this we find out?
He wasn't cool in like
80s was not cool.
Yeah, the 80s and the no, he wasn't.
Sure
Nobody
was.
thought he was cool.
Maybe not in mainstream, but he was still Johnny Cash.
He came.
Everybody loved him.
You go through that. You can tell too. Going through the Johnny Cash Museum that. Like it was not a good time.
I didn't go through the museum. I just literally went to the gift shop, and I'm like, I don't care what piano he played. I bought a couple of shirts.
What a poser!
Yeah, I know. But I didn't want to walk. I don't know. The museums of people's lives usually suck.
Like they have it on display because at first you go like, I don't know, would Johnny Cash have wanted this whole store and he's selling baby bibs and dog collars? Like, isn't that kind of a sellout thing? And then you go through the museum and you see the Cash card, which was the Johnny Cash ATM card and all these ridiculous products while he was alive. And you're like, yeah, no, he wouldn't have minded.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah,
He wouldn't have minded the gift shop at all.
No, he's a businessman. He's not stupid. That might have even been there when he was alive.
Yeah, I bet those guys you just have stuff that you don't even know probably isn't even around. Like, like if it could be like, you have an ATM card, he could honestly be like, I did not know that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's just your name's just gone, and then you don't have no control over it.
Right.
He's probably some marketing guy that will sit there and go, look, we got ideas for this. Then he's like, all right, man, just let me. And look, we're going to give you this much up front, and then we'll give you a piece of that. And his business guy's like, I think you should do it. And he's like, all right, he's half listing, and he just signs it.
You just get a merch check.
Yeah, merch check. You have no idea what the fuck you're selling.
Yeah.
What your picture's on, what your name is on.
Yeah.
But it was still, it was fun to go. I was happy I went.
Into the gift shop?
Yeah.
Into the gift shop, yeah.
Last time I was in Nashville, I saw Ralphie May. I did the club, and Ralphie came and sat there, and we talked in the dressing room for a while. It was bizarre.
It wasn't? Why?
Because I wasn't expecting to see him.
I see.
Whenever you're at a comedy club and another headline comic walks in, it's always weird. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's not shitty, but you're like, oh, it's just you're weird to see them. You're not expecting to see them at your gig. Like, a comic watching me feels weird.
Yeah.
Did you have any weirdness with the guys that you came up with? Did they start getting success before you did?
I mean, the big one. I mean, Hannibal blew up, and then Pete, and then Amy. I was like kind of with. We were here, and then. So yeah, they got. I mean, it was great. Aziz. I remember seeing Aziz doing open mics. I don't really know Aziz because he blew up so quick. I remember him doing open mics. I remember him getting passed to the cellar, and then he was hosting the MTV Movie Awards. It was just like
boom, boom, boom.
When he was on that show, was that show Little Giants or something on MTV? Here's what I remember about Aziz when he first started coming to the cellar. Me and Keith Robinson, Manny was alive back then, and we were teasing because Manny loved him, who owned the cellar. We just kept saying that Manny wanted to fuck him. Like that's what we were like. Manny is dying to fuck this kid, and we were just teasing him for that. So that was like 2003. He's been around for a little longer than people think.
Did he take it in good spirit?
Manny didn't care.
No, I mean Aziz.
No, I think he was a little freaked out, because he didn't know us.
He was he was super young.
Yeah, he was probably 20 years old or whatever, 21.
Then he becomes a giant star, and you're like,
fuck. Yeah, I like him. I mean, he's a fucking massive,
Yeah, they're huge.
Did you get shitty when people started blowing up before you blew up?
You get like you just get jealous. I mean, you get like, why are they getting this? Who's this? Why do they do this? And then they do it for whatever their reasons. I mean, I was like, Kumail Nanjiani was in Chicago when we started, and so it's like but everybody has their. You just got to get used to everybody has their own path, and like you got to try to keep your head down. Like that's why it's good to be in New York because you at least can see paths. That's what the big part that I tell people that don't live in New York is like you got to at least see how someone can make it. Because if you don't, then they come out of nowhere, and you're like, why can't they, why am I like that guy?
I guess that's true because at first, when you just see people succeeding, you go like, yeah, why isn't this happening to me? Why isn't this happening? And then when you can actually watch the journeys and you see it happen to multiple people, you start realizing that like, oh, like you can't predict this thing. Like you can't. You just have to keep doing it, and stuff just happens.
Yeah, you gotta be like Burr was a big like. I remember I got to see a lot of Burrs. Like him doing his first Letterman. I was like barking to like his half hour, and then I went to him and Patrice's. They taped the same night.
Oh, they did.
And then, but seeing like Burr like go like not, and he was like an older, but it was almost like the first guy I kind of saw. Like, go from first Letterman to like, where he's at now.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge thing to like, just get to like, you're like, all right, that is a guy, that guy did it. That guy's real funny. And I didn't know who he was before I moved here. Now I know. And then you see him rise up.
And it takes time.
It takes time. It takes it over. And so it's, that's like huge to be able to see all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you also, it's too, like one thing New York is great for is you watch a lot of people succeed. Oh God, don't get me started on pretzels. They fatten me up, but I treat myself.
Good for you, Jim.
You watch guys who are really great that like I sometimes I'll be like I feel depressed, like I wish more, and I look at Colin Quinn or like who right now is not doing a show, or Dave Attell who doesn't have his own show, and there's nobody funnier than David. Like
so you get upset seeing people who are like your same era.
I wouldn't say upset. No,
aren't succeeding because you go, well, if they are, I mean, not succeeding. That's the wrong word. But if that guy's not on TV, there's no hope for me?
No, it makes you feel like, okay, it's like everybody isn't. Like if you see everybody doing fucking giant gigs, and you're like, fuck, I'm only doing regular sized gigs, but then you see like, well, David Tell's not on a TV show, or Colin Quinn, and those are guys who I respect.
Makes you feel better.
It just makes you feel like, okay, there's guys I respect immensely who don't have a show and should.
Yeah.
I think both of those guys should have a fucking show,
Yeah.
So it's like, not doing poorly, they're both doing great.
Right. It's just in different.
Because we judge ourselves by like, oh, he's got a show, or I got it. It's like, that's how we are. Like you're doing good, and then you see somebody doing better, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm doing terrible."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, your priorities change. Like you move when you first start. Like you're just like, I mean, all you can think about is like, the jokes is all you can think about. Like you just think about the next joke,
right?
And like that's all you're excited about. And then it's getting passed at the clubs, and then like you're obsessed with the clubs, and you're obsessed with that, and then it just keeps like going forward to like then eventually you're on the road. Now you like. Headlining is like I'd rather do an hour than I would do 10 minutes. Like that's stuff that I never felt at the beginning, and now you do, and you just keep try to go forward. I don't know.
You have a sitcom coming, right? It's kind of in development.
We're going to write. Yeah, it's a put pilot with Fox, and then so we're working on it right now, and hopefully shoot the pilot in like February or March, and then see what happens.
So is that overwhelming because it's like, oh my God, this is it? Or is it like now that you've been in the business for long enough, you're like, no, this is just a thing, and if it works out, that's cool, and if it doesn't, then there's other things.
It does help with like stand up. Like you realize that like touring is like you don't have to like a TV show. Like the ultimate goal, I think, for a lot, and I'm not saying I'm at this level, but like, guys like taking like a hit if they take a TV show. Like Gaffigan doing a TV show, he makes way less money doing a TV show than he does if he tours.
Sure.
So that's like that. I feel like that's like the most awesomest, like, because then like a TV show is not as important to you because you're like, dude, I don't need this. I don't need this movie. I don't need this, even though you want it, but you're like, it's a better place.
Yeah.
And
his show is funny, by the way. Gaffigan's show was fucking brilliant, and he stopped doing it just because you say he can do fucking 6 nights at the Nokia, and
Yeah,
it's like what,
pulling 20 grand.
Yeah.
Is that the business behind it?
That's
Who are your business people?
Yeah, no, you're like,
I'm 6 nights though. Sold out, bonus and all that stuff.
Right. Oh, okay.
But Gerard, you're working with Gerard on this, right?
Yeah.
Gerard is so. I really like him because he like his show, which I think it stinks that they canceled it because he really is trying to talk about like real things, and he doesn't want it softened, and he wants to kind of do funny stuff that he at least is talking about what's really happening.
I think they were. It was a kind of a mutual like thing when they. Switch, but he's going to be Norman Lear or Chuck Lorre. Like I I promise that Gerard will be. Gerard is he's young, but he's going to be producing a lot of TV shows. He knows exactly what he's doing. He studies up on it. He's very smart about it. He's great in a room.
That's hard to do, by the way, to be in a room and sell a show.
Yeah, man.
So is that what that job entails? Really, is like finding the talent and then being able to pitch it to the right people?
Yeah, I think it's navigating the executives. Like they got to be wowed. I mean, I've done it before. Like I've sold these shows. I had Fallon produce 4 years ago. And we did back to back. And I pitched with him in the room to NBC, and it was his birthday. And there was no way they were not going to say no. But you're selling a script. So you sell a script, then you got to find out if you get a pilot, and then you find out if you go to series. So there's all these steps. And I never got past the script. I sold scripts, but I never, But I mean, that time I went with Fallon these guys want to meet Fallon.
Right.
Even though this guy runs NBC, it's still cool to meet Fallon.
To have Jimmy in your office.
Yeah. And he comes down, and they had balloons for him and all this. It was wild.
So when are you good in those rooms? I tend to be an abomination. I'm bad. I don't self-destruct.
You're not that great?
Dude, I fucking forget what the show's about. What? I pitched something recently that I have a tremendous amount of faith in, and the places we pitched it didn't get picked up, but I really liked the show.
Do you think that's because of the weakness in the deliverer of the pitch?
No, because I was there with the guys from a production company.
Oh.
And this fucking guy was great. I've never seen anybody pitch like this guy. He just knew how to sell it.
Why don't you do well?
Comics I think are typically too I can't, I'm not a good faker. I'm not good at going, fake enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I'm very bad at. And I feel shame. When they would say, and we're working here with Jim, we're so happy working with Jim, and I'm just oh, stop talking. I get ashamed.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. So are you decent in those rooms?
I can do all right. I think sometimes comics can be good in those rooms. Because comics are doing, I think a lot of time it's I try to think of it always if you're doing radio on the road. In the morning, you're trying to be funny like that. You're trying to, when you go just to promote a club or whatever, and you got to do 10 minutes, and then,
right.
It's I always try to kind of somewhat think. You have a couple lines that you, a big, this is Joe List line. He always, being in, how long has it been since all five of us been together, huh? Something dumb. That's just kind of they kind of laugh at it. They don't know. Because they do hear pitches from just writers all day. That's not funny. And they go in and they're very serious and all this. So when a comic comes in, I think they're kind of excited.
It's funny. That's better. I never have a good line. My lines have always been kind of depressing.
What do you say?
I'll be imagine if I don't get this show and then I come in and kill everyone like a workplace shooting.
And then they're
No, but it's you need those things.
You need the dumb little lines.
You need the dumb little line. But there's always that awkward thing. I've talked to Jeff Ross about this. Jeff Ross, by the way, has got to be a genius pitcher because he comes out creatively.
Yeah.
He performed in front of the wall. He does these amazing. He's like a fucking Renaissance guy as a stand-up where he does his shows.
Yeah.
He performed for the prisoners. He performs for the cop. To the moment where you have to switch from, hey, we're all having fun and laughing, and I'm good with that. Just talking, I'm a good conversation. But then it's all of a sudden, now, why we're here. There's always that little...
Oh, you can't transition?
It's a very hard transition.
Weird.
Yeah, it's because it feels like this whole... Because what you're saying is, remember this whole little bit of fun we're having? It's been a lie.
Enough of
this is why I'm here.
Let's get to business.
Let's get to why I'm here.
Yeah.
That was a lie. And I think it's the guys that can make that transition flawlessly. That helps.
Pitching this show was with Gerard, and it was an... it's being with another comic helps because you go pitch sometimes with writers, it is tough because they're just be and then we do this and Nate's got a joke. Go ahead, Nate, do the joke. And you're they want you to do your act and it's 10 a.m. and you're
and you're in a boardroom.
I'm married, me and my wife, you're like a moron. But if you're this one I did with a comic, it was unbelievable. We could have sold it because you're both going off each other, and then you just know comics just can talk better with each other than they can with a writer that's not funny, and he's just having to be yeah, go do you.
Yeah, and it's not an easy thing to do, and there are guys that just know how to do it, and I'm just not one of them. And there's no reason for it. It's just I've never been good at stuff at self-promotion, and it's zero to do with integrity.
It's real uncomfortable.
I just have too much shame to overcome.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. Oh, we got Bob coming in. Cool. Hi, Bob.
Yo.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Do you guys know each other, Nate and Bob?
I've opened for him at Zany's in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
And then
Hi, Bob. It's good to see you, pal.
I love you.
I love you too.
That was
Flesh. I know where your head has been.
Happy to see you, man.
Men touching their hands to things is very popular right now. I don't know if you've been reading the news.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, you know a lot. You probably know.
I know a lot about masturbation.
I know you do.
I was single in between every relationship that I had to put down. So
Yeah, but you still jerk off when you're in a relationship.
I'll jerk off with my feet if I could.
Would you let a girl jerk you off with her feet?
No, but I'm not into feet. Whenever I've seen people do foot stuff, I'm like, what?
So, Bob? Do you know a lot? Do you know Harvey? I mean, you talk about the sexual stuff. Do you know him at all? I'm sure you know everybody in Hollywood.
When I started, I was brought up. I was on a Comedy Store college tour, and 22 years old, I was in Buffalo, New York, and Harvey Weinstein booked me into a club, and Brad Gray, who became my best friend and my manager, and then ran Paramount, and then we just lost him this year. Pretty sad. Let me just bring the show way down.
That's fine. Yeah.
Well, if you ask me, I know Harvey. It just leads down a sea of subway holes, and he managed me. Harvey and Brad managed me. I signed with them in Buffalo.
I didn't know Harvey. I knew Brad Gray. Of course, I did that, but I didn't know Harvey actually managed people.
He did for a while, and then they split. And then I stayed with Brad.
So is it difficult to watch a guy who you have a personal relationship with?
Masturbate?
No, that's not difficult. Believe me, I've done it.
I know. I've almost seen you do it. I believe. I've known
yes,
you a long
did.
time.
Yes, you have. And I sent him a sexual message that I meant for a woman. It was just humiliating.
I had been doing it at a Broadway play. Hi, Sam.
Hey, man.
I was at a Broadway play, and you always honored me too by coming to him. And I was just sitting at, I don't know what restaurant I was. Oh, I was at Bargatze Trolley. I remember exactly what I was drinking now, but then you sent me the text, and it said, "Hey, can you help out a dude?"
No, can I get a hand? It was a code I would use with this girl. She was really fucking sexy, and she would come over.
Sexier than Bob?
It'd be fucking ludicrous. No, I mean I don't on a level of what you can be with a
he'd rather
vagina.
go for a combination of Anthony Weiner and Walter Matthau.
But she would, she would just we had a dirty relationship, and she would sit on my face, whatever. But anyway, I sent him. It was meant for him. He's like, it's Saget. I'm like, oh, thank God.
So you just typed in the keywords to him?
I just sent in that little code.
And he went, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, probably did. Yeah,
Give me a hand. I went, who do you think this is? It's Saget.
But it was the way
I'm so sorry, bro. I thought you were this girl that I know that jerks me off.
Yeah.
That's what you
But so is it hard for you to see what's happening to him, or did you end up with a good relationship with him, and now you're watching a guy that you used to like?
I ran into him last time I saw him was at the Golden Globes, and that was I just knew him. I didn't know. I had no idea. I mean, I knew that he did what he did as a power-hungry guy that knew what movies were about, and you're never shocked when you find out a producer does something, but this is a shocking time. This is just bizarre, and it's upsetting as fuck. I'm not enjoying it. Are you?
No. I mean, no. I was like, I am. I like it. I'm watching.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. It's a fun show.
You're watching big guys fall.
Yeah. I don't know. It is kind of crazy. It's crazy. It is always when you hear stuff and everything goes like down like this. You're like, that's pretty nuts, man. Like, what's going to happen? Because there's got to be people that are like scrambling. That are like, oh my god.
Even
like,
if you're not enjoying it, do you think it's a good thing? Like, I think it's a good thing that this is happening.
I actually had that same theory because I'm always trying to be up with people that somehow all this shit that we're in, all this negative craziness, will teach us not to do it again. That we're not going back 50 years. We're not going.
Well, it teach us to be more careful.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more one-way producer flights to Europe right now.
Well, the problem is, it's people that you've been hearing rumors about for a long time too. There's certain directors and stuff. Not, hey, this guy fucks a lot of girls, but like, hey, I hear that guy was fucking fumbling with kids. Like, we've heard rumors about people for years.
And that is a way wrong. And the other thing is, if you're knocking on the door in someone's, room and you make a plan, that's different. We're going to do something feisty. But if you're using your dick and you're hitting it, hitting the knob, and then you go in, and then I don't know, if you're whacking a plant, I mean, what is that?
He came in a plant, Harvey, did he, in a restaurant?
I mean, what is that? I mean, it's fertilization. It's probably good for the plant.
You've never jerked off in a plant?
No, I try not. With Venus flytrap, I had Seymour suck my dick from Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, blow me, Seymour. But I don't want to fuck plants. I mean, in my new special, not to mention it at all today.
Oh no, that's it. I didn't know about it. Tell me about it.
Well, it's you know about everything. You're look at you, the king of everything, right here with your hand near your
failing
penis.
fast.
No, you're not.
Thank you, Bob. Go ahead.
No, you're doing great, and everybody knows it.
0 to 60.
You'd be surprised how accurate Jim is.
Thank you, Sam,
in his
very much.
self-assessment.
Oh, he's
Bring it
doing
back.
badly?
Yeah.
He's doing very poorly.
Oh, well, are the ratings down?
No, it's fine.
You can't wait to jerk off? What is it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So 0 to 60, is it on Netflix?
It is not. It is.
Okay.
It's the first time anything's been released this way, which Harvey also said. But no, it's a new model, which I dated once, but now I got a good woman. I'll tell you about her in a minute. But this 0 to 60 thing is out now on everything. It's on, of course, iTunes and vinyl. Amazon, but it's on every single cable system in the world.
Oh, wow.
At the same time, on demand. Right. It's the first time. Comedy Dynamics did it. I'm the first person that's ever had this happen. It's like another model where you get to be you get to co-own or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
But the main thing is it gets to be seen by everybody. So it's on Spectrum, Dish, whatever you got, Speculum. If you got the cold thing the doctor puts in, it's on Boogers, it's on Hyman's. But in reality, it's on DirecTV and Google Play. I mean, it's literally. It's a way that a comedian. That they can take it, and if they luck out and everybody says, okay, we'll let it go everywhere, which is really weird because you got a lot of competition.
Yeah.
So it would be on the thing. You're gonna watch Wonder Woman and jerk off for the 9th time, or do you want to watch 0 to 60 and hear about Bob's
The
prostate?
cable on demand thing is.
And jerk off for the 10th.
You're really funny, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
We had fun in Nashville.
We did.
And I was single then, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I ain't no more.
All right.
Last time I was there, I had.
Are you telling Nate that he doesn't have a chance anymore?
Exactly.
He does not have a chance in my fiance.
It's not going to happen again, Nate.
Yeah.
He can bust my hymen.
Kelly is your fiance, and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Did you meet her ever?
I don't think I did. But
Please don't touch her.
No, I wouldn't.
But you're clean. You're kind of clean. You're like not. Wait a second. He does everything, but he washes himself. He does. Well, you wash your hands. I've watched you wash your hands.
Yeah.
In urine and semen, and I think it's fantastic.
Then you see me wash my throat too.
that was my urine and semen. Semen is not just a food group. It's not just your breakfast anymore.
You ever see Caligula? There's a great scene where she's laying there and all these soldiers are jerking off onto her. But that's how I learned it was good for your skin. Back then, cum is good for your skin.
That's no one's going to argue with you. So you are going down fast, aren't you?
No, I'm just saying. I saw that in Caligula.
I saw Caligula in a theater, and I was actually in a theater in Detroit. And this guy, he was a partner with Mark Ridley of the Comedy Castle back in the day. This is like 35 years ago, I guess. And it was Gore Vidal, I believe, directed.
It was, yeah. Bob Guccione was a producer, I think.
Yes, it was Penthouse. It had real blowjobs in it, and it was in a regular theater. It was an X-rated movie. Yep. And I remember sitting with a guy who, and this is sad as fuck. It's weird, and his name was Dan Trent, and he passed away from cancer, and he was like dying while watching Caligula, but it was his dream to go see Caligula with me, and I got nothing to do. I'm in Detroit working the club. Sounds like a nice afternoon. Sit with a guy that's dying watching Caligula, and Malcolm McDowell's the star, and there's like
John Gielgud is in it.
Peter
O'Toole.
A lot of guys that wanted to see people.
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren was in it.
That's right.
She was very good. But those people had a separate movie going on.
Right.
They weren't, the other movie where people are, spewing all over each other. But there's, at one point, Dan's, he says, I can't watch the movie. My scalp won't stop bleeding. And they said, and then I said, this is so sad, Dan. And he said, I had this happen at Fiddler on the Roof when I went to go see it. I said, well, that happens to all non-Jews. You got to wear a yarmulke. So if you wear a yarmulke, it's a good, it's a drip pan.
Did you really get the science of the skin from Caligula?
I mean, that's where I learned that happens. The movie's 1980, I think. So, I mean,
I don't think it's true. I don't think you formed that opinion that cum is good for your skin.
No, I asked why somebody told me that was why they do that, because it's good for your skin.
Have you found that to be true?
My stomach looks like I'm fucking 11 years old. So,
but I think it's just because
you're an asshole.
No, but I think it's in porn. You people pull out and shoot all over each other, and in life that's not always the case.
No, of course not.
People do use the internal root.
Yes.
And
feels good.
I think so. Why are you looking right into my eyes?
Well, I'm seeing what's there.
No, well, blankness, death.
So how long have you been engaged for?
It's been 3 weeks.
Really? That's it?
Yeah, we were watching Stranger Things. We were up in Northern California. I turned it off, went into the safe, took out the ring that I'd had for 4 days. She had no clue at all.
Were you waiting for just a moment where?
Yeah,
it was
I wanted us to go through this thing where we had this amazing time together, and I guess in a way I just wanted to be sure the timing was right and everything, and it was just one of the nicest. It's like I was married 22 years ago, and I've had like 6 girlfriends that I put down. They're in the backyard, and I put a funnel in.
How'd you ask her? What'd you say to her?
I said to her, "I know you hate Jews, but no, she's."
And that's why.
Yeah, for the record, Sam and I are nodding.
You're not alone. She's Sicilian from Chicago, so she's got a family that's connected. So I can't mess this up.
No,
but I just asked her. Romantically, I just got on a knee, and that's very, of course, that's very controversial these days. But there's no flag in the room, so that was fine. Good. And she was.
She say, "I don't want to mix politics and proposals. I don't like."
She actually said, "Why'd you turn off Stranger Things?" And
did you say, "Would you marry me?" You were serious?
I did. I didn't say it right. I said, and I'm not kidding, because I was going to say I want you to spend the rest of my life with me, but she's half my age plus 7, which is cool. LA.
Yeah, that's very, very Nation of Islam.
That's how you do it.
That was Elijah Muhammad said half a man's age plus 7 is the proper.
Really?
Is that right? Well, Elijah Muhammad said that. Yeah.
I feel so happily grouped in, and
you are Bob X,
double X. But what was interesting is she. The way I put it was, I want to spend whatever time I have left with you.
That's
really nice.
morbid.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
I have a lump in my asshole. What are you doing for the next 6 weeks?
By the way, don't look at my scalp. It's bleeding.
Scratch my tumor. No, but it was not the way to put it. And she went, "Well, what?" And then I repeated it, and then we were on the phone. I had already asked my daughters. I have 3 daughters. Said, "Is this cool? Do you have a woman? Do you have a
yeah, I'm married. I have a 5-year-old daughter.
That's cool. You married your 5-year-old daughter?
Yeah, people are not on board with it, but she's half my age plus a lot more than that.
But you say you don't do nothing with her or nothing. You just take her to movies and stuff.
With my daughter,
yeah,
I would do like whatever a parent would do with the daughter, like a normal.
Well, have you been reading the paper? It's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's true. Right now, as normal people, I'm a normal.
You raise
parent.
your daughter.
I raise our daughter.
You don't rear your daughter.
No, I do not.
You don't take her out in the woods.
No,
you don't look for Stranger Things stuff.
Right? No,
and you love her a lot.
I love her a lot. Yes.
Yeah, I got 3 of them, and they're old now. They're 90 and 80. Jim's got kids.
Are you gonna have
in a plant in his house?
Are you gonna have more kids? Do you think?
No, I don't think so. I asked my dick, and he just went.
No, you asked your accountant, and he said no.
No, it's different now. It's like we have something where we're both really in sync. I haven't had this in my life really. I have when I was younger. I mean, I got married at 26. Mm-hmm. So how old are you now?
I got 38. I got married at 26.
Yeah, that's good. 38, and that's a good amount of time. So you kind of. Usually the 7-year itch is over, right?
Yeah. I've been with my wife since I was 21. So, before I started comedy. No. Just been with her.
I didn't mean to
accuse
you of doing that.
No. I mean, I did eventually get her pregnant.
Sure,
but,
12 years old.
Yeah. I was deep.
That's where that
That's a long time to
That's
keep
where
your
the
dick in
kid came
somebody.
from. Yeah.
Your dick can shrivel up if you keep it in somebody for 12 years.
How did you surprise her? Like, to get a ring, you got to size the finger.
Well,
did you guys talk about it in the abstract?
I stole one of her rings, but it was the wrong finger, so I had to have it. I had to have her finger implanted. No, I had to have the ring desized.
It was a toe ring, and you're like, oh, I was way off.
Well,
what a short, fat finger.
It was a
you don't
ring.
ask her because of that. You're like, look at their dumb fat finger. I didn't know they were that bad.
Fucking hobbit-handed idiot.
It was a severed finger.
So wait, you didn't tell her? Did you take her ring shopping first? How do you determine?
No, I went and got the ring and got the one that a year ago we'd had a conversation, which comes up if you're being romantic in bed right after sex. You Google what's your favorite ring. If your life's going good. So I knew the kind of stone she liked.
So basically you do that kind of like, hey, maybe someday. What do you like? And then when X amount of time down the road,
put it away into the cloud for a while, so somebody from Apple could have married her.
And then you knew
or steal my act for my new special 0 to 60.
Did she cry when you asked her?
I did. No, she did cry. She did cry, and I don't know if it was out of joy. Or
Did y'all finish Stranger Things?
Yeah, we haven't. It was so funny. Last night I was at dinner with her and my daughters, and she was pissed that we haven't finished it.
What episode?
Now the excitement is off. We got 3 more to go.
Is that so? Have you not watched since you proposed?
Can't talk about it. Oh, I thought you were going to do a spoiler.
No, I was going to say, what episode were you watching? When you proposed?
We want to watch it, but I've been so busy doing press, not impress, but doing press
for the special.
That we haven't had time, and we're literally dying to watch it. So I think I'm going to charge up that old iPad and get the double earphone thing, and on the flight back.
That's romantic.
I think, yeah, really. But then I realized we're in those seats that aren't next to each other. They are, but you're just compartments.
Sure.
Because we're on Murder on the Orient Express. We're going to be traveling in trains.
Yeah.
But so we can't wait to see it. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
it's
good.
good.
It's
Sit it
really
up real
good.
high.
It's like one of the best shows.
And season 2 is better than season 1.
It's so good. I met those kids too. I was on Chelsea's show, and the kids were there, and they were excited to meet me, which was I was like, what?
Do you think that now, because we were talking about this on the show, and I don't know them obviously, but like now that when I see them in magazines and on TV and stuff, and it wasn't after last season, but after this season, it seems like now they're being like sexualized and stylized and turned into these little mini adults. Which
They've gotten older, and I saw them doing, like the temps on James Corden. They were doing all these songs together, and they choreographed it, and they're showbizzing them out a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm the guy that was a dad on Full House,
So
right?
yeah.
And I'm still. We're doing it. Sorry to keep you up, Jim.
Yeah, that's okay.
I wish we would see the show. Because he's yawning like no tomorrow. I've always watched the whatever this is, Facebook Live or however you do this, and it's always this angle on me that makes me look like I've got 5 months to live.
No, you look great. It's just wishful
Not
thinking.
from this angle. Not from this angle. He literally shoots me Zabruder. Can you go over there? With
There's
it?
a camera right there.
Yeah, but I don't trust that one. All of them should take every camera over there.
You don't like your profile?
Film him and me.
Well, you have a great little profile.
This way.
You look terrific.
Well, you only know that because you held my head down.
Sure
You
I
said,
have.
can you give a guy a hand? I don't know. If you're a kid and you're acting and you choose to do it, it's a real weird line. You kind of figure out, is this what, I worked with Mary Kate and Ashley. They were 9 months old. They don't grow up at 9 months and go, I want to be an actor, and I just saw
But you
Ashley
guys
last
did
night.
a good job of treating them like kids the entire time they were kids. Like, to the end of that show, they were portrayed as
I love them.
Yeah.
I had dinner with Ashley last night with my daughters and my fiance. That was my stutter for the day. my fiance. And and I love, and the show's back. That Fuller House, Netflix brought it back. It's like a giant, new ones come out in December.
But they won't do it? The twins won't do it?
No, they don't want to act. They do what they do.
Their clothing line, right?
Yeah, they do, and they just don't want to act, and it just didn't feel right. And it's like people should be able to do what they want to do. Like if you wanted to do this show without Sam,
What?
No, it couldn't happen.
No, it never worked.
No, why would I?
This place has never ever switched jobs. Nobody's ever changed.
No. You can't just change a host and keep going. You can't.
No,
That's
how do you do that?
crazy.
You can't. Friendships can't break up over this
Yeah.
thing.
No, it doesn't happen.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen in show business where you don't really talk to someone that was your best friend for 15 years anymore.
It's amazing. They actually have a place in here where they make mic flags. That's how fucking fast.
So just stamp them out.
There's Confederate mic flags in here.
It goes over. It changes quickly. Yeah.
Oh,
That's how radio is. Just they swap it
It's
out.
how everything is. You do a movie with somebody, you get real close to them, or then you have I just finished directing a movie, and it's really good. It's got a lot of great actors, and then porn scenes, just like Caligula, right in between, just to get the skin going good on the stomach, and because that's what you like. That's the kind of man. You actually look good.
Thank you.
I think it's the chair, and you made your chair really high, like Letterman's used to be.
And the
It's
lighting's
comfortable.
dark over there.
It is
on
dark. I
purpose.
prefer a dim light.
That is what it
makes
is.
me look mysterious. Like I
And
was
I'm,
to say.
and I'm excited that the camera's moved, but all anybody's going to look at is the front part of it and telestrate it to show the neck jowl.
Definitely.
No, they'll
I'm
put a little
61 for God's sake.
You look good for 61.
Not bad.
Well, not great, but it'd be good.
Thanks,
They'll put it on the.
You're right about
Use
though
this
the movies changing. I mean, poor Kevin Spacey just got taken out of his movie that he did.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah,
Ridley Scott.
It's really
No
a
idea.
shame.
Are there
It's
new
really-
accusations against him now too?
I heard there's
Jesus.
something. There's something against everybody.
But as long as it's not with kids, like
That's all bad.
that's the fucking.
It's just all bad. And I know most of these people, and it's just so fucking
Oh, you know
weird.
Kevin?
Yeah. I mean, he was always nice
Everyone
to
knew
me.
he was gay. That wasn't a shock.
No, it's just if you force yourself on somebody, like I want to mount you so bad right now.
I understand.
But when I say that, and it's in print,
Yeah.
everything I've ever done, I either put in a book or I do it on stage. I don't go dry hump a person's fucking butthole when they don't want it.
Well, Jim, I think
That's
Norton.
a lie.
Norton's in a lot of trouble because he's kept a lot of his sexual stuff private. for
Yeah,
so long.
I don't. It's under my hat.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Keep it down, guys.
No, that's
Man
gonna be
would
bad.
throw himself on the front of a bus.
Yours would be it's all not true, and then that would be the big disappointment. Everybody's like, "What?" He's like, "No, dude, he's like a
I
normal
just like
dude."
missionary sex twice a week.
Yeah,
That's my-
really
what?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I've actually said I love you a lot. What? Ugh.
A missionary sex is You mean like with a missionary? I mean, someone trying to bring religion to like a South African culture.
That's the Norton
And then they
thing.
go, yeah,
Oh, it's at the Old Vic Theater in London, I guess.
What is?
Maybe, I guess he got accused of something there.
of 20. It's so funny. There's a lot of them. Like you're like this dude. I don't know how he had time to do anything
In one theater,
Like he
yeah.
just walked in, was like just grabbing people.
He's
like,
a really good actor. He's got a great mind. They're actually changing the name of the theater to the Old Dick Theater. You know, because that rhymes with Vic.
Certainly does.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
fit
a
right
vapor
in.
rub that you put on a young man's back after you're done. See, we would be able to joke about this stuff. I even did a joke in my new special, 0 to 60, open everywhere.
Yes.
If this was my show, I would say it every 6 seconds. What's your new special? It's on your thing. What your latest thing?
0 to 60.
No, yours.
Oh, on Netflix, Mouthful of Shame?
Yeah. I watched like half of it, not because I didn't like it, because
you asked
because I didn't have it, because I had
fiance to marry you.
No,
You stopped it.
we were watching Jim Norton, and it got me so aroused. I got the ring.
Jim's talking about blowing a woman. Hold on, I got a gift for you. Here's a ring.
She said no that time.
What's different about you is there will be no charges pressed because you have a consenting person doing it that you're either paying or they wants what you want.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying I'm this great guy. My turn-ons work a certain way. There's certain that type of shit. Someone horrified or like, it just never turned me on.
No, and how do you walk into a room and get an erection and you got it going and you're ready to go?
Jim has problems with the first part of that sentence.
Yeah,
How do you
exactly.
walk into a room and get an erection?
Yeah,
you can't do it.
Yeah, my dick is tentative,
Are you saying it's scared? It's like
frightened. Yeah,
So it's always like Groundhog Day? It's
not always,
sure?
but sometimes.
You ever poke Satani? I got nothing.
No. Yeah,
You've never
Bill
had-
De Blasio dropped my dick.
You've never had that with a woman, right? Where like you couldn't get an erection.
I have had that.
Thanks for bailing me out, Bob.
I know. Because
What'd you do for real?
For real, it's actually in the special. Rodney
0 to 60?
Yeah.
You probably get that everywhere, right?
I get that all people say hashtag 0 to 60 to me, but
No, you can get it everywhere.
Yeah.
oh, you can get it.
Cable on demand.
It's available. Oh, thank you. I didn't realize I should play along with my.
Yeah, Bob has a
promotion.
bunch of tour dates, by the way, too. And, November 30th, he's going to be in Raleigh and just a whole bunch. So go to bobsaget.com because all the dates there. We got San Diego, Honolulu, Morristown, New Jersey.
Honolulu will be with Bill Maher for New Year's.
Oh, New Year's Eve, right? Yeah,
we're doing that fun thing.
That'll be great.
And that'll be fun because I'll be silly and a little dirty, slightly topical, and he'll just go for it. And,
Yeah, Bill's different. Yeah.
and clean it out. And that's what I'm going through. I don't know about you guys, but that's where I get my news. I'm watching, John Oliver and Stephen Colbert and Seth and Jimmy Kimmel, and that's where I get my news. I
don't watch any of
You
them.
don't watch any of it?
None.
You don't like none of them?
I don't dislike them. I just don't watch them.
They're not talking about coming on people's backs and stuff. So maybe that turns you off.
No, I'd like to hear that.
Yeah,
would.
I know.
No,
You would
I'm
so
not,
turn-
I don't dislike them. John Oliver's very funny, but I just
Yeah, he's wonderful. He's a great guy.
no interest.
Well, what about the news? Do you watch it? Are you turning on CNN?
It's
Are
mostly
you,
Drudge Report or CNN.com. No,
do you go MSNBC? Do you watch anything?
if I'm looking for a headline, I'll usually go to Drudge, and then from there I'll go to CNN or MSNBC because then you're kind of getting all three. But
you're not getting Fox News. You're
I'll
not
watch Fox News. They're no different than
I'll
CNN.
watch it once in a while because I want to know what everybody is thinking, and I just find it all it's lunacy.
Yeah,
we are in the most
I was watching
insane time.
on the news yesterday. I couldn't get enough of it. Thirsty Donald. You see Donald
Oh
Trump?
God,
going
was
for
that
water?
great?
No.
It was fucking awesome. He was doing this speech about China, and he had to,
He sounded dry too. Didn't
Oh,
he?
yes, he did. I
He
heard it at the
sounded like
beginning of it.
just dry mouthed.
he had to pause twice to get a glug of water from his bottle, and that's awkward enough. But the way he drinks water is like he has to line up his lips with the bottle before he brings the bottle up, and then there's all this preparation and everything. Watch him. You can
He
see
looked
him.
like a pursy-lipped fool.
Yeah.
Capabilities.
You can hear the
Defense systems worth.
Well, this
many,
is a
many
real stretched out
billions of
screen.
dollars and jobs for the American.
Nope,
worker.
that's just him.
You see him just lick the inside of his mouth. His mouth
like cut mouth.
sucks right now.
But this is not what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to get a guy that gives you a public address and talks to people at home and takes over all the airwaves and says, even teleprompter, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. A cheerleader,
thirsty.
something. Yeah, he's just thirsty.
He's thirsty,
And he
man.
doesn't know why the little guy doesn't like him.
But Marco Rubio, a lot of
He
little
calls
guys.
him Rocket Man for a year and wants to know why he doesn't want to be friends.
Well, in fact, Kim Jong Un's a bit of a cunt, though. He's been fucking around for years. I've had enough of him.
You think he can fit in a missile?
Rocket Man?
Yeah,
I bet he
a
can.
little short, fat
That
fella.
looks like a little,
Yeah.
yeah. It looks
It's one of those wide missiles.
look like someone on Snapchat. Just send him flying off.
But it was very awkward when Marco Rubio did this. He went for a water grab, and it was just awful.
Marco Rubio, it was awkward for him because he drank like half the bottle. He was like,
These guys should have under the podium, like I do, either an open bottle of water, because there's something about watching him open it.
You know
It
what
just
these-
looks stupid.
These guys should have the
Or a glass of water. Just
The,
a glass of water.
the foresight to know I'm about to give a speech. Let me have some water before I give the speech.
I need two glasses of water.
But they should have the staff person say, we're going to put a bottle of water underneath there because they should have people working for them because he's the president of the United
Well,
States.
he did address that he wanted some water.
He did.
Yeah.
Let's go
This
back.
is very
Okay,
good.
I'm sorry I
Very
cut
good.
it off.
How dry does he say? I love listening to people with a dry mouth.
dollars, 17,000 jobs.
And he
Guys,
go-
under- Wait,
They don't have water. That's okay.
it's not okay.
He's so pissed.
He's licking his teeth.
he looked
It's in front of the
wrong place.
podium, and he's opening it away from him so he doesn't spill it on himself. It's a
Yeah.
whole thing.
He went
Look
to
at him.
someone else's water.
Look at how he does his lips before he.
Oh
and
my
he holds it with
God.
both hands like a that's how an infant drinks water.
Japanese
Yeah.
manufacturers.
Yeah,
Toyota,
I have an
now-
8-month-old. He drinks it like he preps himself before he drinks
It
the
was weird.
thing.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
before he said Japanese man, he drank Fiji water. It just seems like it was
Yeah.
a
I bet he's now
sponsored
just
event.
thinking like I shouldn't have put that top back on. Like
Yeah.
you ever go on stage and forget to have it undone a little bit or something?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
because it can get hard, and it is weird. It's like you'll be up there and you're like, it is weird to be drinking water in front of people. Like just when you're thirsty. I see
don't
guys
do
that could
it.
pound. I don't really do it either. I've seen people go through beers.
Yeah,
like they
I've
have like
seen
2
that
or 3
too.
beers, and you're like, when do you have time?
Well, Jim Jeffries, that's part of his thing. I mean, he gets
Yeah.
up and he's funny as hell, but he goes and he
Starts pounding them.
yeah.
Bert Kreischer does shots.
Yeah,
that
Bert's
is
a
the problem.
faster.
Well,
It's a little
I
bit
don't
of-
like when the audience, I feel bad about it, but they do a shot. Dude, I'm working.
Yeah.
My brain has to actually function to do this.
You haven't been to a Bert Kreischer show. When the audience goes to do a shot, he goes, "All right, send one up, send one
Yeah,
up."
I've seen a lot of people over the years.
Yeah.
Ron.
Ron Wood. Ron White.
Yeah, Ron White. Ron Wood probably.
Ron White was just here.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
great.
Last time I was in here, Ron was in. He's a great guy.
Really, really funny dude, man.
Really funny. Really. There are a lot of funny dudes.
He's a comfortably funny guy, like meaning he just talks and you're
Yeah.
like, he's funny fuck.
Yeah.
He's just I listen to him talk about anything for any length of time.
And he says it because he's connected, and he talks slow, and he tells you about it, and it's I really enjoy people that talk like that.
He's a guy who should do a podcast and doesn't. Because
Yeah,
he's an
absolutely.
interesting guy to listen to.
Right. Yeah.
There's certain people that just have that. Chappelle has that. This weird,
Yeah, 7 hours you could just
lyrical way of speaking. It's just a comfortable way of speaking.
And they're connected to it.
Maybe that's
the
what it
best.
is.
Yeah, it's fully in my newest special, 0 to 60.
Where can people get that?
Oh God, it's everywhere.
How about
Where can
AT&T?
you not get it?
I can download
That's a great
it.
question, Nate. Can they get it on Google Play?
Yeah.
I bet you. How about Amazon iTunes? Probably not.
Definitely.
Oh,
What
you
about
can.
What about like cable on demand? That's never been done, so I wouldn't imagine.
But not DirecTV?
DirecTV immediately.
Oh,
This
my
has
God.
never happened before. I don't
Never
understand.
in the history of humanity.
Wow.
In other countries.
So you're actually bringing everyone together with this special.
Well, the last song in it, because I do 4 songs. I was on Mark Maron's podcast.
You
And I
said
said, I said, what?
you just said doo-doo.
Oh, sorry.
It's awesome.
I do
love it.
4 songs.
I do. I was on. You're very mature. Thank you. I was on Mark Maron's show. I shit 4 songs. I was on Mark Maron's podcast, and I go, I do some songs. And he goes, oh God.
From Mark.
I went, no, Mark. It's like I used to go see Martin Mull when I was starting, and he would do comedy music, and that's what I've attempted to not do his thing, but I write comedy songs forever. That's what I do, and so I do 40 minutes of stand up, and then I do some music. The last song is called "We Got to Be Kind to Each Other," but it's an R-rated, my version of "Wheel of the World," and don't paint your penis green between Easter eggs, things like that,
Right?
But then it has the relevance of something positive. What's behind the special is this is all bullshit we're living, and we have to get through this. So what you were saying, Sam, that I disaddressed probably by trying to plug my fucking show too much, is that there is good that will come out of all this crazy shit, because there are producers, there are people in power, there are writers, there are politicians, they're just famous rich people, they're just people that are dicks that are assholes, and dicks and assholes is one of Jim's favorite pastimes.
Absolutely.
But they will go, I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to do this now. So that's like just a young boy being taught, don't do this. But then the real truth is, eventually it actually seeps into society. Because I was having a conversation with my kids last night. My daughters were saying, it's going to hurt women getting jobs, that people are not going to want to hire women because women are going to be afraid they're going to get fired or guys going to.
I think there's other reasons.
That you don't.
I have no idea. I'm
that you
joking.
don't hire women.
Sea level.
Have you talked about your wife with this?
I don't let her talk. But
How do you stop her from talking?
I lock her up. It's a whole thing. Hopefully no one goes over to my house now.
We got
I'm joking. I'm joking.
We got a break in 1 minute.
So I think something good will come out of it.
Yes.
In that some of these people will be scared, but then other people will actually get the message, which is we're not cave people. Stop dragging people around by the hair unless they say, please drag me around by the hair, and I'll sign this.
Yeah.
But you don't pee on people unless you're trying to a snake bit them or a jellyfish, and then you're helping them.
Or Jim Norton.
Jim Norton wants to be stung by a jellyfish.
I haven't been pissed on in so long.
You miss it?
I'm here for you. I have so much to release.
Bob Saget, 0 to 60. Thank you guys both. I appreciate it. Bob, 0 to 60, new comedy special is out now. Go to bobsaget.com, at Bob Saget on Twitter. And the tour dates, you can go and see Bob if you want to see him live. He's going to be in Raleigh. He's going to be in Caroline's doing a huge benefit show, of course. San Diego, Honolulu, Morristown. Honolulu's for New Year's Eve with Bill Maher. That's a great show. So check out Bob's new special everywhere.
I love you, Jim.
I love you too, buddy. And Nate Bargatze, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
It's Nate Bargatze. It's BARGATZE.com and the same on Twitter. And you got the Stretch Factory tonight through Saturday.
Yeah.
It's one of the best clubs in the country.
Yeah.
732-545.
And people should see him. Nate is just fucking awesome.
He's a funny,
really
really
is
funny
great.
stand-up.
Yeah.
And you're also going to be in Lexington, Indianapolis. Go to Nate's website. Zany's in his hometown in Nashville, just December 12th. So
Which is an unusually great club.
It's great.
Yeah, I had a great time there.
Yeah.
I love that. It's one of my favorite clubs.
It's one of my favorite clubs too. Right before I shot my special, 0 to 60. I just want to see if it was possible.
It certainly was.
One more in.
I actually played Zany's, and it was like right after Chris Rock went in to get ready to go and tour it out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. We'll be right back. We got Gene Simmons coming in, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Bye.